So I'm with one of the January Screenwriter Lab Fellows, Chantel Clark, with Wit.
It's hard to pronounce.
Pronounce it for me.
Wit Gesigte. Pale faces is easier to
Pale
say.
faces. So I'm supposing that this will be a film with subtitles, or maybe no text, no dialogue at all, or perhaps very little.
Not too much dialogue, but definitely subtitles, and it's going to be in a few different languages. Afrikaans, Xhosa, Zulu, and Dutch.
Awesome.
So it's a mixed bag.
Before you put first words to the page, were you thinking out loud in terms of like historical aspects and stuff? Did you do a lot of research?
I have been doing research not just for the script, but for some of my other short films and another script that I'm writing. So the kind of early history of South Africa is something that I do a lot of personal research on anyway, and then
You're
of course,
geek. You just do it like free time.
Yeah.
Instead of
Well,
Netflixing your
I wish
researching.
I wish I could, find a Netflix documentary on early South African history. But yeah, it's definitely, I'd say, a little bit of an obsession of mine, and I think it's super important to kind of understand. I mean, not just my country's colonial legacy, but a lot of colonial legacy that's really affecting, still the way the world is today, and we're really still seeing, what that is doing.
Long-term effects.
Long-term effects are something that I think people don't necessarily always try to trace the origin of, and then kind of try to see how we can work.
Yeah, there's not a fun Ancestry.com site for colonialism.
For colonial guilt.
In the log line, I'm thinking of a lot of Claire Denis cinema. I was
She's
wondering.
definitely a big influence.
Okay.
Chocolat's one of my favorite films, and Jay recently saw High Life as well, which is obviously not
And
in
there's
the same world, but
before
maybe
35 Rums or after White
35
Material.
Shots of Rum and White Material. Yeah, all great reference films, I think.
Outside of film references, what are strong visual, oral, tonal ideas that you have that were sort of like percolating in your head while you're writing?
South Africa has a very strong history of oral storytelling and oral tradition in general. That's how a lot of things, a lot of alternative history to kind of what's published in like the Cambridge, concise history of South Africa. So, yeah, oral storytelling is a big influence for me. A lot of myths that kind of surround understanding of settlers and why settlers were there, everything from that to kind of this idea of witchcraft, and I think South Africa is an interesting place because we kind of have this multitude of perspectives that exist side by side, and just because something is a little bit more mystical or mythological doesn't mean that it isn't taken seriously in our communities, which is something that I definitely want to bring into the world of the script. And in terms of other visual references, the landscape itself is a big influence for me, and the region in which it'll be set kind of from what was once the Cape Colony is now Cape Town, and then further into the interior of the land. The kind of things you can see there just in terms of thunderstorms and sunsets, it's like nowhere else in the world, so definitely forms a big inspiration.
Awesome. It's going to cost you a lot to make this film. Eureka moments or epiphanies in the lab. Were there any moments or where they confirmed portions of your script that you were on the right track, or perhaps maybe a moment that said that disproved a theory or a sort of story idea? Or
what would one of the big ones? I think that a lot of what I thought I was onto was confirmed.
Okay.
And the idea that using the horror genre to explain colonialism and making what I like to call a colonial horror film. I got a lot of support from our advisors for that, and really worked on how to kind of make that the most effective, like how we can simplify the mythology, how we can kind of translate things to a universal audience so that we don't get too caught up in the details, but really just try to get the right thing across. So I'd say there were a few epiphanies on that point. Yeah.
Curious about the central character.
Abiona.
What?
Abiona.
Abiona.
Yes.
Why did you choose to do the POV through that experience?
Abiona is a character who, for me, kind of embodies a person who can walk between two different worlds. And because we're dealing with mythology, I want to have a person who can be grounded in reality, but also be open to mythological aspects. And so for me, she really represents a person who's able to do that, because she kind of comes from two different backgrounds, and has a slightly different worldview to, I think, a lot of people who surround her in the world of the script.
More, she's closer to her curiosity, if you will, perhaps.
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, it's hard to be a woman whose curiosity is kind of supported in the 1600s and 1700s. So that's why she's such an interesting character to me. Is I really just want to explore what that looks like.
Great. Well, good luck with iterations number 3, 4, 5, 6 of the screenplay, and
thank you so much.
And yeah.